Hey y'all, it's Leslie, back for the third day in a row. Can you believe it? Today is Thursday, January 11th, I think. Somewhere around there, 2024. And I'm going to try to do a WIP parade. My WIPs live in these baskets. There's a, it's meant to be a like sofa table, little cubby thing, but it serves as my end table by my stitching spot on the couch. So they live in there, and I have drug them in here because there's far too many cats being curious out there. So we're going to try to get through them. By the way, my name is Leslie. This is Fat Cat Flossing, my channel about cross stitch or whatever other crafts I have to do. But today we're talking about cross stitch and my WIPs, or my works in progress. I started 2023 with 40 WIPs. I don't know exactly how many I have now. I think I'm around 30 to 33-ish. We'll know when I get done with this. They're in no particular order. They're just, I'm going to pull them out of the baskets as is. They're all up here to try to keep my ginormous 100-pound puppy from messing with them. So we'll see how this goes. So cut me some slack. I did not take time to look everything up. I'll tell you the linens if I know them. So, and I'm sorry, they're going to be covered in cat hair because it's my house and that's what I have, is lots of cats who shed lots of cat hair. All right, this first one is a Blackbird Designs. This is What Remains. This was out of print for years, and then I believe was a market release in 2022. So I believe it is widely available now. It is just a beautiful, beautiful pattern. A lot of people have done this as a salve in remembrance of their mothers. And that's what I am doing also. These are miscellaneous silks from my stash. No particular dyer, no particular rhyme or reason. I am doing them in the spirit of the original, but, you know, they're not called for. Oh, I forgot my board. Back here. I chewed up the puppy got at it board. So, I started this for my mom in 2022. And then had plans to finish it that year. And then retore my rotator cuff, had to have surgery again, didn't stitch for 5 months, and here we are. I did get pretty good progress on it during 2023. I got busy stitching that wedding sampler for my son, so we didn't get done for her birthday. Her birthday was February 19th. So my plan is to finish it on February 19th this year. My mom would have been, let's see, 92 this year. And she's been gone since 2008, but I still remember her fondly. So that is what remains, is the love I had for her. This is, I believe this is 36 count Picture This Plus Heartland. And that's where I am. I need to finish the border. There's a lot of other little doodads. There's a row of little birds down here. I'm gonna fiddle fart around with it and add her name and dates somewhere, but I haven't quite worked that out. I may replace the little birds with that. I may try to figure out. I'm sorry, it's been wadded up in the project bag for months, so it's really wrinkly. And I did not iron today. I just didn't have time or the hoots to give, frankly. I hate ironing. Anyway, What Remains from Blackbird Designs for my mom. And I plan to finish this on February 19th this year. It's a really, really pretty pattern. Even if I weren't doing it for my mom, I would be doing it just because it's so pretty. What I do when I store my silks is I roll them up in my linen. It just helps, you know, silks tend to get kind of fuzzy. So I do that. It kind of helps a little bit with that. This is going to be a real trick. Still got all 30 of 2023's finishes right there. And these project bags are so fuzzy, y'all. They got lots and lots of cat hair on them. But at least most of the cat hair is, well, most of it. God knows not all of it. There is plenty of cat DNA stitched into my projects. But most of the hair is on the outside, not inside the stitching. There is a thread hanging off of this. Let me cut it. Just a loose linen thread. This is Land That I Love from Teresa Kogut. And this was I believe it was a 2021 sampler September start, I think. I am doing this with the call for, with the exception of, I did change the two reds. The reds that were called for were kind of orangey reds, and I like bluer reds, so I did change the two reds. These are two Victorian Motto flosses. But other than that, it is done as called for. Sorry, too much junk, not enough room. I should have taken the time to pull out the ironing board, but, you know, 100-pound dog, small room, I didn't. And I stitched on this for a week last year. You know, I had real good intentions of that. I was going to take out all my BAPs and stitch on them for at least a week to try to get good progress. And I did a couple, like Elizabeth Weston got a week and Marie got a week. And this one I think got a week. But I got a ways to go. This whole bed sheet's going to be part of that sampler. But I am, probably 75% done with the top third. What does that average out to? I'm about a 16th of the way done, I think. Anyway, maybe a little more than that. 15%. But there's where I am. This is 36 count My Little Dove from XU Designs, I believe. And again, almost all of the called for flosses. I had to completely frog this and redo it. That slowed me down when I had it out. It will come out for at least a week again this year. And at that point, I will finish this side and move down to the next section underneath here. So I would like to have more progress. I'd like to be done with it, but it is what it is. It's huge and it'll get done when it gets done. Taking a risk putting that on the floor because that boy likes to chew on stuff. And I can't lock him out of here because he just has a conniption cow when he is not with his mama. He has horrible separation anxiety. If you don't know, I have a 10-month-old Newfie Doodle, half Newfoundland, half standard poodle. I'd had a Newfie before and I loved him, but $3,000 to $4,000 for a puppy was not in my budget. So I got a Newfie Doodle, and I love him to pieces, and I wouldn't trade him for anything. But he has horrible separation anxiety, and he is much more active than most Newfoundlands would be. Newfies, God, this has got so much hair on it, it's ridiculous. Newfies tend to be a lump on a bump on a log. What is this? Okay. This is my home is built in glory from Heartstring Samplery. And did I write down what this is on? I usually write down. I wonder what I did with my working copy. Interesting. Who knows? Anyway, I usually write down on my working copy what the linen is. If I had to guess, I don't know, maybe platinum. So I got platinum. This got, I don't know that it got a full week, but it got several days this year. I don't think I had any of the words done when I pulled it out. And I don't think I had any of the border coming down the side. So I did make some progress. I think it probably got 3 days, maybe. But again, I do plan, you know, I don't know that it'll be finished, but I think it will get some progress this year, hopefully, because it's beautiful and I would like to see some progress on it. And I love the My Home is Built in Glory thing. So that is My Home is Built in Glory from Heartstring Samplery. This is not cross stitch. This is needlepoint. My husband loves NASCAR. He loves for me to watch it with him. I have a hard time looking from a pattern back and forth. I have to have my glasses on to see the TV. And it's hard for me to look from a pattern back and forth to the TV, to my stitching, to the pattern, to the stitching, to, you know. Anyway, needlepoint is a little bit easier because it is printed, or in expensive cases, hand painted onto the canvas. I think I may have worked on this one day this past year. It got next to no progress, but this is called Porch Cats. It was a dimensions kit from several years ago. I would guess the early 2000s. I don't really remember. 2011. So it might still be available on the secondary market. You would just have to look for it. But this is a printed needlepoint canvas stitched with the kitted yarn. Or not yarn. It's actually floss. I don't know that it's DMC floss. It feels a little different, but I don't know. Whatever came in the kit. All of this big wad of stuff. I don't have the stitching. It's in the closet because it's on a frame still. Lady of the Flag from Mirabelia. I'm doing this with all of the called for, with the exception of I'm using the blue conversion that I don't remember who did, but that's what I'm doing. I have a start on her. I'm probably not even 10% done with her, and I need to get her off the frame because, frankly, as long as she's on the frame, I'm not going to work on her. I don't like working in a frame anymore. I used to. During the 90s, that's all I did. I got over it. Now I stitch in hand because I'm lazy and it goes faster. Truth hurts, man. Anyway, Lady of the Flag from Mirabelia got zero attention in 2023. This is Block Party Meow from Hands On Design. It is another one that I don't think I stitched on at all last year. When I pulled stuff out and listed everything out a couple days ago, and I've now buried that list back here. I think there were 6 or 7 things that got no love at all in 2023. And this was one of them. I didn't show you the stitching. There it is. I've got 2 little mice and some cheese. And that's, again, this got no love last year. So it will definitely get pulled out. I don't know that it'll get finished this year, but it will get some attention. I'm going to make a point to try to touch. I don't know that I will touch everything, but those things that got no attention last year, I am going to definitely try to at least touch them. You know, a couple of nights stitching maybe. So much stuff, so little time. I have to do this or we're going to have an avalanche, and, you know, that won't end well. Okay, 2 more in this box. This is another one of the ones that did not get any attention last year. I did pretty good. I started the year with 40 WIPs, and I touched all of them at 6. But those 6 got nothing. Miss Sunflower from Stitchy Princess on Etsy. I purchased this shortly after the war in Ukraine started. Unfortunately, it is still going on almost 2 years later. And also, unfortunately, I've made no additional progress on her. She is stitched on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha with most of the call for, with the exception of I changed the color of her dress to reflect the Ukrainian national colors versus the green that she was charted in. Again, this is one that I hope will get some attention this year. Call for DMCs. I'm sorry, y'all. Pardon me. I did not sleep well last night. I don't know why. I just didn't. Okay. Another one that got no attention. This was the basket that didn't get paid attention to. I am relatively close to a finish on this. This is Checkerboard Stag Sampler from Samplers Remembered. And I have got all of this center portion done. The only things I don't have done are these 2 motifs on the end. Now, they are large motifs. They're done in satin stitch. To make it look good, I should probably put it in a hoop. That'll be the capture from YouTube you watch. Miscellaneous Silks from Stash. And where's my board? This one's pretty enough that it deserves to go on the board. I believe this is Color and Cotton Sand, I think. I am not 100% positive. But again, I've got that whole middle portion. I have considered picking this out and just finishing it with this, the center portion, and not doing those 2 big satin stitch motifs on the end. And I may yet do that. We'll see. But there it is. It's very, very pretty. This is the fault of Julie McConnell, because I saw hers and felt the need to do it then. That happens to me a lot. I should probably watch less FlossTube and stitch more. I would have less WIPs and more accomplished. Sorry, I'm taking the time to put them away. Because again, big old mess. Okay, 1 fuzzy box done. Leave it alone. Okay, box number 2. This is the stuff that I've really been working on most recently. The cubby that's on the end where it's easily accessible to me, stuff gets pulled out. Partly because that's where I put it, and partly because it's easier for me to get to. This was my New Year's Day start, so if y'all watched my FlossTube from Monday or Tuesday, whenever that uploaded, you've seen this. This is the Wool and Flax Company from Plum Street Samplers, and this was my New Year's Day start for this year. This is 40 count Seraphim Dusty Road. I don't have a very big start. I've just got shepherdess and 1 sheep. Miscellaneous silk flosses from my stash. Y'all just saw that, so I'm not spending a lot of time on it. I'm sorry, y'all. Apparently, I need a nap. I was going to finish this a couple nights ago, and then I didn't. Anyway, Tend the Flock from Hands On Design. This is an exclusive to the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. This is 32 count dirty linen. I think it's just this Weigart. I am almost done. I need to finish right across. There's a border right across here, a few little doodads up in here, and then I'd be done with this. Call for Weeks Dye Works flosses. I may pull this out tonight. We'll see. I'm so sorry. I get the yawns. Again, y'all just saw that, so I'm not spending a whole lot of time on it. I Love My Sheep from Nikys Creations. This is 36 count Lush Meadow from Dames of the Needle. I've changed the shepherdess to be pink because I'm a pink girl. Miscellaneous silk flosses from my stash. I am so sorry. I'm going quickly because I did my finish parade yesterday and I had 30 finishes and that took me almost an hour. I don't know how many WIPs there are, but I'm quite sure there are at least 30. I'm going kind of quick. This is Night Walk Down from the Blue Flower. This was my New Year's Day start in 2020 or 2021. 2020, I think. Miscellaneous silk flosses from Stash. And that's where I am on her. I'm kind of stalled out because I want to rechart the big black cat that's down here at her feet to be a Burman. So that's going to take some work. But I did pull this out a couple weeks ago. Excuse me. And got some progress. I got the words here and started on this big motif over here. So I do have progress. So I kind of, you know, I would like this to be a finish in 2024. I'll put it that way. I'm not saying it's going to be. I'm saying I'd like it to be. And I believe the linen is called Antique Violet. And I think it's from, I'm pretty sure it's Kitten Stitcher linen. I started this in November, I believe. This is Rest and Be Thankful from the Cricket collection, and I'm doing the house down here. And I do plan to alter this somewhat. I am going to lop off part, like the far side here, make it more square. And then instead of saying Rest and Be Thankful, I'm just going to put Be Thankful on it. This is, I believe this is 40 count Oyster Mushroom from Fox and Rabbit. And I've got a decent start. I've got most of the house done. And I've started coming out to the sides to add stuff. And miscellaneous silk flosses from my stash. There are 11 billion shades of teal and turquoise and whatever in there. At least. Maybe more than 11 billion. What comes after billion? Trillion? 11 trillion. I am so sorry. This is ridiculous. Maybe I should have made coffee. I'm typically a 1 cup of coffee in the morning girl. As opposed to my husband who drinks coffee nonstop all day. Oh my Lord, so much fur. I used to call this my 5-year project. I've decided it's a 10-year project and it might be longer than that. Because I just can't get enthused about getting it done. This is Seedy Pumpkin Cottage from Praiseworthy Stitches. And I think it's cute as all get out. It's just, I have done the house. I'll show you in a minute. And I am down into all of the little plethora of 3 stitches of that color, 2 stitches of the other color. Pain in the butt stitching. All of the called for Fancy Floss and or DMC, whatever it called for. And this is also the called for linen. This is 32 count. I believe it's called Haunted. Say picture this plus, and it is whatever the call for is. Another bed sheet. I had the house done. This side I pretty much did last year. No, 2022, because last year I couldn't stitch her in the fall. This year I just could not get enthused. And I don't like stitching things that are fairly random, like the tree branches that go all cattywampus everywhere. I don't enjoy that. I like more structured stitching. So this year I got the tree up here, started the tree down here. I think I may have added a couple more little people down there. I don't really remember. I didn't stitch on it as much as I should have. I did stitch on it, but not as much as it deserves, needs, whatever. Because I'm pretty sure I am past 5 years. This may have been year 6. Hope springs eternal. So much stuff, it's hard to get it all back in the bag. And again, that is the 32 count picture display. Haunted and or all of the called for floss. I don't know what's in this bag. Oh, wait, yes I do. This is a fairly recent start. I saw this, I was at the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. And they had a trunk show from October House Fiber Arts, I think is, yeah, October House Fiber Arts. And this is called Humble Life. And they had the finish there, and it was so pretty. This picture does not do it justice. So I came home and immediately kitted this up and started it. And I've got a start. It's not anything to write home about, but it's not tiny. This is, I believe this is 40 count Dusty Road from Seraphim. And I kitted this with miscellaneous cotton flosses from my stash. Looks like mostly, well, about half and half Victorian motto and color and cotton. So anyway, I will get back to that. I think it's super cute. And it's really not a huge pattern. It is, well, it's long, 224 by 78, but it seemed to go pretty quickly. I think I only stitched on that for maybe 3 days, maybe. I've slept since then and I don't remember. I love this one. This is the Stitchy Wisdom Salve that I started with Jane and Julie from Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. And this is Wisdom from Teresa Kogut, and it is so beautiful. So beautiful. Now, I did a Leslie and brightened it up considerably. So if you want to see, I mean, just look for the hashtag Stitchy Wisdom Salve, and you can see some folks who have done it in the called for colors. Mine are miscellaneous silk flosses from my stash, but again, I have brightened it up to more of a spring palette. This is my problem child that I found a hole in my linen after I had stitched a significant amount and didn't want to start over. So I have patched that hole with some fusible interfacing and stitched over it. And so far, the stitches are not quite as neat looking, and my stitches are not terrific to begin with. Not quite as neat looking there because of having to use a sharp to pierce through the interfacing. But, you know, they're okay. And so far it's holding. My worry is when I give this a really significant tug, to pin and lace it that I'm hoping it does not come apart. Y'all say a little prayer for that, because I will be very, very disappointed if that happens. And that is one that I would also like to get back to and get a finish on in 2024. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I'd like to finish them all, but, you know, what are the odds? Sorry, the heater's running again, and I am a fat woman. Y'all, let me get a drink, please. Wet my whistle because I'm talking a lot. Oh, this one's not actually a WIP. These are the blue work pairs, Anjou pairs, and red work pairs from Annie B's Folk Art. I do plan to eventually do all of them. I have done 2 of them. I've got some miscellaneous soap flosses here, but there's not actually anything started in that, so that doesn't count as a WIP. That was probably a mistake. I started this for Pam's Survival. I think it was Pam's Survival Sal, I think. Pam of Pam and Steph, Just Keep Stitching, is a 30-year breast cancer survivor. And last July, she started this in celebration of that. And I think it is beautiful. This is Simple Gifts Courage from Praiseworthy Stitches. And I started this I believe this is 40 count Verdal, I think. There's my start, just a corner. Nothing to write home about. This is a custom dyed floss silk from Silks For You. I emailed Jo and asked her to dye me something that ranged from ballet slipper to fuchsia, and she hit it out of the park. She did a terrific job on it. Now, I am fussy cutting it to get a little bit better definition on the motif, so I can get like a lighter motif, a darker motif, whatever. In places, some places I'm just stitching away. But I'm very, that floss is beautiful. I love it, Jo. Super happy with my Silks For You. And if you need a custom color dyed like that, they will, I mean, they've got a lot of beautiful colors in their shop. And I think it's silksforyou.net, I think. I'll try to remember to link that below also. But anyway, they will custom dye for you. And they're very, very reasonably priced, especially for silk floss. I think anything ain't cheap, but for silk floss, it is super reasonably priced. I don't think this is actually started either. Another one that's, it's kitted, but it's not started, so that doesn't count as a WIP. And what's in here is a Lizzie Kate. This is, what's it called? Autumn Delivery from Madame Chantilly. And there are 2 versions of it. The little girl in the autumn colored dress. And then there's also a little witch. Because I wanted to be able to display it for a longer period of time, I'm doing the girl in the sweater and skirt. This is 40 count Elephant Run from Fox and Rabbit. And it is tight. Stitching 1/2 on 40 count. It is quite tight. Miscellaneous cotton flosses from Stash. I don't particularly enjoy stitching on this, and I think it's because that linen is such a tight 40 count. But I'll keep plugging away. I think it only got a couple of days progress this year, so nothing to write home about. Wow, and that's all of basket number 2. We are just zooming here. Oh, wait, nope, there's another one in there. I lied. Go go ahead and stick these back in here. Wow. There were a lot of them stuffed into that one. Okay, whatever. Okay. Oh, this is another one I should get done this year because there's not that much left. This is Lady Kathryn Kitty, Hello and Goodbye, from Summer House Stitchworks. This is my travel project. This is done on a mystery 32 count I think it's Lugana because I don't think it's Joblin. It's an even weave, 32 count even weave of some sort. And this one is actually stitched 2/2 because the coverage 1/2 was just not good enough. So this year I got most of the cat's rear end filled in and, you know, made some progress. Here's my rat's nest of DMC. And I think this is, I was missing one of the call for, but I don't remember which one it was anymore. But it's mostly called for on that. Again, on a 32 count mystery even weave. And I should get that done this year. I don't know. The interior of it is stitched also, which is a geometric design. I'm not sure that I'm going to stitch that. We'll see. I may just finish it with some wool felt inside it and not worry about that. I think I might have dropped a floss, so let me check. Does not appear so. We'll hope the dog doesn't eat it if I did. Okay. Onward and upward to the last box. Where we get to the first thing, I am going to UFO. Not because I don't think it's pretty, because I do. This is the Pomegranate Sampler from Fox and Rabbit. I think it is very, very pretty. But it's just black. I just don't enjoy it. I like color. And I should have known myself well enough to know that I probably wouldn't enjoy doing that, but I gave it a go. This is, I think this is just a 40 count Zweigart white. I did pull this out and work on it. And I just was having no fun. And stitching is supposed to be fun. So I may finish this one little motif and cut it out and finish it in something. I may just chunk it. I don't know. But I am going to UFO this one. And I am sorry I cannot forward that pattern on to somebody because it is a PDF that I downloaded and I don't share PDFs. I may keep it, you know, maybe I'll come back to it at some point. But again, right now, it's just, as I watched somebody who said, Marie Kondo'd that shit. Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I forget. I was watching somebody's WIP Parade recently that said that. I went, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh boy, this is my big girl. This is Elizabeth Weston from Hands Across the Sea. She's gorgeous. I love her. Now, I am a little disappointed. If you purchase the silk pack, like I did, be aware that the colors of silk in the pack don't really match, especially the greens are not reflective of what's on here. I wish now that I had not purchased the pack of silks that I had kitted it up myself, but you know, live and learn. There they are. The Soie d'Alger. I mean, they're still pretty, but I would have just chosen a slightly brighter, less olive palette for the greens. And she is huge, y'all. Huge, huge, huge. She's much bigger than my board, but we'll give it a go. Here she is. And she did get a full week this year, or in 2023. And I completely finished. I brought the bones of the border all the way around. I added quite a few of the flowers and stuff in the border. I added this whole bird is new. I have an error. I'm mad at myself because I had started this line across here, whatever you want to call it, border, whatever, consists of 3 different rows of green, 3 different shades of olive. And I started one line of it from one side, and then I was from over here, and then I was working on the bird. And when I got done with the bird, I thought, well, I'm going to go across there. So here I came across, and guess what? I have a mismatch. If I had started both of them from the same side, that would not have been a problem. So that's a learning experience. I don't like learning experiences of that sort. So anyway, I'm going to fudge it. I'm not ripping it out. I'm just not. But when I get back to her, I'm going to have to figure out a way to fudge it. And she will get at least a week again this year. I have no aspirations to finish her. I mean, sure, that'd be great. But I don't think I have the focus and stick-to-itiveness that would require. I like jumping around. I like stitching on lots of different things. I enjoy that part of it. So that's what I do. What is this? Here's another one I did not touch. I don't know why, because it's not that big and I could get it done. Erin Goba from Stitching with the Housewives. Not the call for miscellaneous cotton flosses. I'm trying to remember what this linen is called. There's my start. I mean, I've got a decent start. Excuse me, I've got a decent start on it. I just need to get her done. I believe this linen is called Star Sapphire, but I'm not positive about that. It's a Zweigart of some sort, and I don't believe it's an overdye. I think it's just a plain Zweigart. Excuse me. I should probably pull that one out and work on it and see if I can get it done by St. Patty's Day. Oh, here's my other UFO. Not because I don't love it, but I don't love my start on it. This is Fresh Eggs Farm from Hands On Design. You know, one of the ones that Priscilla actually designed and Kathy charted. And I started this these many years ago. This is 32 count slate. Here is my pitiful little start. I don't enjoy it. I like the pattern. I have, I believe, all of the call for flosses, but I'm going to UFO it. I will probably restart it at some point on a different linen. I'll probably pick this out, but I don't enjoy this particular stitch. So that's another UFO. This is Memo Rose from Jardin Privé. This is one that Michelle Bendy was kind enough to send me several years ago after I commented on how much I liked hers. This is another mistake. This is a 28 count. I don't remember what this is called. It's another Zweigart linen, I think. Feels like one. It's not an overdye. It was something that had been in my stash for God knows how long, but it is a 28 count, so I'm having to stitch 2 over 2. There's where I am. It's more than I want to abandon. Most of the call for, I changed something. I don't remember. I think I added the purples. But anyway, I'm not ready to chunk her. but I'm also probably not going to work on her anytime soon. Should my son and Claudia decide they want to give me a granddaughter, that might be the appropriate motivation to actually accomplish something on her. But for right now, I'm not giving up on her, but I'm just not going to be stitching on her anytime soon. Cat hair. Say it ain't so. I made significant progress on this one this year. This is Eau Marie from Reflet de Soie. This is a picture of the antique. There is not a picture of the finished reproduction. I think you might be able to find one on like Pinterest, but I don't have one. Miscellaneous silk flosses from my stash. Again, a rat's nest. And this is 36 count. It may be My Little Dove, but it looks bluer and less gray to me than that, so I don't know for sure. Where's my board? But she got quite a bit of work this year. She got a solid week and then some right around Easter, which I figured was a good time to pull her out. So this year I had about, I don't know, probably this much of the border done. So I've added that much more border, and I am not all the way down, but I am close. And I brought this, I only had like maybe that many letters. So I brought the rest of the letters across. And then I had the flower basket done, but I did not have any of Mary stitched. So I've now, her skirt is still to be done here, but her face and the outer robe still need to be done. I don't love her face. I would like to take her face out and probably redo it. And Leah Noel offered to rechart her face for me, and I need to take her up on that. Once I put it away, I didn't bring it back out, but I don't love her face. It's stitched as charted, but I may fudge that around a little bit. But again, not one that will probably get finished this year, but I do plan to give her some significant time. And if I got an equitable amount of progress this year as I got in 2023, I would feel pretty good about that. I've had her going for 3 or 4 years. I need to get her done. The end is in sight, y'all. Looks like maybe 4 more. This is another one that didn't get touched for the umpteenth year running. Patriotic Sampler from Jeanette Douglas. I started this as a sal with Julie from Gulf Coast Stitches and Pam from Just Keep Stitching. Julie gave up real quickly. Pam finished hers. I made fairly decent progress. I mean, that's not an insignificant amount of stitching. But I haven't gotten back to it in quite a while. This, I don't remember what the linen is. It's a cream color. I believe it's an overdye of some sort. I don't remember without looking back. The flosses are not the call for. They are mostly Carrie's Creation silks. It looks like I have some Gloriana in there too. So I do need to get back to that one. I have the guilts about this one, but I bought those silks and then there they've sat. It's one thing when I'm just buying them randomly, but when I buy them specifically for a project, I feel somewhat constrained that I ought to work on it. Another one that got no love this year. I thought there were only 6. Maybe there were more than 6. Carols on the Square from Praiseworthy Stitches. It's just huge. 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 Call for flosses. And that's a lot of called for fancy floss. I need to poop or get off the pot, get some progress, or liberate that floss and put it back into my stash. She got no love this year. I've got the center house, the mortar's in, but I haven't filled in the bricks. Right? Yep. So I need to get with it. This is not the called for. It is a 36 count. It's a different picture, this plus, of a similar vintage, similar color that I had in my stash. I don't remember offhand what the name of it is. Oh, I thought I was down to the last one, but not quite. This was my Christmas present and Christmas start 2021. This is Serenity Harbor, right? Isn't that the name of it? Yep, Serenity Harbor from By the Bay. And it is so pretty, y'all. It is so pretty. I asked my hubby to kit this up for me for Christmas several years ago. And he did. And the linen is 36 count heather from, I believe, Fiber on a Whim. And again, I've got a fairly decent, I mean, that's a lot of stitches, y'all. Fairly decent start, but nowhere near done. I have all of the call for DMC, and I just need to get her done. Or at least, well, again, needs to get some work on it. Probably won't be done, but this one will get some attention this year. I need to pull out that What Remains for my mom. And while I have not started them yet, I am about to start the 2 Shepherd's Bush stockings for my son and his wife. Those are things that I feel like have to be done. I'm sure I will start and work on other things, but that's one. Anyway, I do have other things I want to get accomplished. What is this? Oh, this is a pitiful start. This is so cute. Spring Scamper from Misty Purcell at Luminous Fiber Arts. The chick in the radish plain just cracks me up. I love it. And I started this, I believe, 2 years ago. I've got most of the call for DMC and a couple of specialty flosses. Looks like Victorian mottos that I just pulled out of my stash. I believe this is Picture This Plus Ariel, I think. And I've got one bunny head. It's a pitiful start. But at least I have a bunny head. Anyway, that one needs to get some love this spring too. But we are at, oh Lord, 54 minutes. That's a really long video for me. And it's time for me to go get dinner started, I believe. So thank y'all so much for coming to visit with me. See all my, again, I don't know exactly. I'll put the number down in the drop down when I get that done. Again, don't expect it today. It may be Friday or Saturday before I get it done. Hang on, Tucker. Hang on. Y'all want to see a big puppy? Come here. Tucky, hang on. Hang on. Hold on. Oh, he's getting so excited because I called him. Hang on. Hang on, Tucker. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Come here. Come here. Tuck. Up. Up. Hold on. Oh, you're such a klutz. Good Lord, you're a klutz. Tucker. Up. Up. Here's my ginormous puppy. Remember last spring when he was tiny? I cannot pick him up. He is well over, right at 100 pounds. And he is so sweet. So sweet. Him a mess. Yes, him is. Him a mess. All right. Down. Down. Good boy. Good boy. All right, y'all. Well, puppy and all, that's enough of this nonsense. I will see you soon, I hope. Y'all take care. God bless. Bye-bye.